Now it's time to wire the AC leads of the transformer to the power entry module and to solder a ground wire from the power entry module to the ground lug on one of the rubber feet bolts. And the first thing I'm going to do is get out the old heat shrink tubing box and choose some heat shrink to protect us from these voltages. And so the first one I probably want is, I'll try 3/32. Oh, it fits on there good. I don't think the smaller 1/16 inch works. No, it's too small. Okay, so I want to cut two, I don't know, 1.25 inch lengths. I just use my eyeballs to measure things. Okay, this is the smaller sized one. Now I need the size that will go over these contacts. That one will do it. So that's my next candidate. And I think I'll cut them about the same length. Doesn't have to be exact. There we go. I think it was that box. Alrighty then. Next, put your heat shrink tubing on before you forget to put your heat shrink tubing on. Just push those all the way down, out of the way. And now we're ready to proceed. So the first, I'll do the top one first. So it's about, it needs to be about that long. The second one, about that long. Alright, 2 spare wires. Now, how to strip a wire without tearing it out of the transformer. Hold it in your pliers. Like that. Then cut in with the appropriate size notch on your stripper, and then bring your pliers all the way up to the back of your stripper tool, and then don't let off of the stripper tool all the time, and just pull. And there you have a perfectly stripped wire with no force put back down on the transformer. So we'll do it again. About 1/4 inch, 2/3 inch, I don't know, 1/2 inch. Bite in, bring the pliers up, just rotate this tool, and voila. Wherever it is, there it is. Well, those are ready to solder. So I guess I'll solder the top one first. Now I'm going to bend a loop so that the solder isn't doing the work of holding the wire, but the wire is. And crimp the loop. I guess I'll do that with the other one, but it needs to be stripped more. Alright. I know I broke my rules. Big deal. this one. Oh. Okay, first we put a loop in our wire and hook that loop into the contact so that the wire holds its own weight, not the solder. We curl another loop into the next wire and square it up a little and hook it in the same way. There. They're ready to go. They're protruding straight out from the pins, and we just solder them down. That's one. And that's two. We allow that to cool because it will make our heat shrink before we want it to. I guess I'll pull up the short stuff first. Push it up. I put the smaller diameter tubing on and shrink it so that when the next size up shrinks, it will shrink enough to have something to grab. The wire, the size differential between the big stuff and the wire is too great. This will never grab the wire. The white tubing won't grab, but it will grab the yellow one. Sorry about the bump. There we go. Alright. We use a little hot air pencil to shrink the tubing. I just want to push it up there to make sure it stays. Don't get any hot air on the white stuff. Alright. Now, the yellow stuff is on, and we bring the white up over the top of it and over these contacts. Just thus, so there's no exposed contacts, and continue shrinking. And that's all there is to it. All right. The transformer is wired to AC power. And it has a fuse, a switch. It has everything it requires. And now the next one is to go from this grounding lug for the box and solder it to this lug on the AC entry so that we have a very solid connection, even though the box itself grounds directly to the case. You can never have enough ground. This is the best green wire I had. It's some old filament voltage wire off of an old dead transformer. It's cloth covered. It's probably older than me. Let's try that again. It should be a heavy gauge wire. That's better. It looks like about 16 gauge. No, I'd say 18 gauge. 18 or 20. Alright. Let's see if we can get it to 10. I'll put a little flux on it. Oh, good. It's taking solder. If it's old and corroded to the point where we can't get solder to stick to it, we really don't want to use it as a life-saving ground wire. Alright, it's going to come out this way and loop back that way. It's exactly the right length. What do you know about that? And that doesn't look as good. This must have been the end that was exposed to the air over the years. We'll see if it takes solder. Oh, a smart aleck. How's that? A little bit of flux. Well, it is stinky. It's old wire, that's for sure. Probably buffalo tallow for insulation, and made with a stone tool in its day. Alright, same deal on the well, this doesn't require insulation because it's ground. It's the case. That is the case. Got it? Good. So that tab looks bent. There we go. It's ugly. Oh, it's okay. It just has lumpy solder still stuck to it. We'll pre-tin it. I think there's some old wire on it. I don't know. Okay, we'll attach the ground. One wire attached. All that glare is making the camera go dark, doesn't it? Sorry about that. Very good. And ground is connected. And now we have our low voltage wires to go to our rectifier and filter boards. Those are next.